Hello, everybody. My name is James Huang. I'm the Managing Director of Payoneer in Greater China. And I'm really thankful for all of our partners and customers for attending our event today. Now I'm here to talk about a major opportunity in China. Traditionally, China is the manufacturing center of the world. If you look at this slide, you can see crates and containers, thousands of them, lining up the docks, as China exports about $2.5 trillion worth of goods every single year. But right now, there's an emergence of new technology and it's disrupting the way of commerce. And this technology is e-commerce. It's blurring the boundaries of geographic trade. And because of that, we now start to experience a new paradigm shift, whereas manufacturers and wholesalers are selling straight to consumers in the Western world. And they're providing a vast assortment of products and streamlining layers upon layers of middlemen. And the value is simple. Your consumers will gain access to products at a significant discount to today's pricing, and everyone's happy. Today, China sellers are selling about $235 billion of the goods, and these are the figures in 2019. They're doing it via marketplaces such as Amazon, eBay, Walmart, Newegg, and etc. And what I'm here to tell you today is that this trend is only at the beginning, and there's so much runway to go. And we can switch over to the next slide. Now, of course, knowing about this opportunity is different from capitalizing on this opportunity. These are two totally different things. It's a jungle out there. You might be asking questions. Who are the vendors? Which are the high quality products? Who actually is able to deliver a high quality of customer service or ship locally? These are all valid concerns and issues that marketplaces face every single year. And this inspired Payoneer to launch an incredible new service called Green Channel, which is designed to help you succeed in this endeavor. For this, I'd like to proudly hand over the stage to my colleague, Seal Wan, to talk a little bit more about this. The stage is yours.
Okay, thank you, James. Hi, everybody. This is Seal Wan from Payoneer and leading Payoneer Green Channel program. And today we also have three other owner guests. They're Dario from Jumia. He is the Global Chief Officer of Jumia. Hi, Dario.
Hi, everyone.
And also we have Sebastian here from Heal.de, and he is the Director of Corporate Development of Heal.de.
Hi, CEO, and thanks for the invite.
And last, we have Joy here from Google China, the Industry Manager. Hi, Joy.
Hey, hello, CEO. Hello, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here.
Okay, perfect. And later, we will have a panel section on the discussion about how the Chinese market is and how it's fast growing. And okay, thanks, James, for giving the insights of how the e-commerce is boosting nowadays in China, and also mention about Green Channel services. So here I'm talk about what is Green Channel and how it works. So as James has mentioned before, we are now having more sellers doing an e-commerce business. We're having like more than 200 billions worth of goods are doing the transaction on the marketplaces, and we are seeing the trends that the marketplaces are getting are coming to China, again, more sellers and more qualified products, and to enable these products of selling to all over the world. And on the other hand, we still see a needs on the seller side, and they're expanding their marketplace, their needs on the marketplaces, their needs on expanding their business on the new corridors and new marketplaces. So hence, we find here Green Channel, Payoneer Green Channel, as a bridge between the sellers and the marketplaces all over the world. And we want to connect the sellers to the marketplaces all over the world. And with the Payoneer Green Channel, it means get access to the world top sellers. It means like thousands of large sellers, billions of sales in every year, selling across 50 plus marketplaces in 100 plus countries. And also leveraging the Payoneer strong relationships with the partners, like logistic partners, warehouse partners, and ERP partners. And also we are trying to build and become a navigator of the new marketplaces who come to China and don't know that where the Chinese sellers are, what kind of business they're doing, where they are, and what the business model would be. are trying to become the navigator and to utilize our rich data to find out the sellers with the highest chances to succeed and make the perfect match with the vertical they're selling the product and to fill the product gaps. And also to utilize our data and the trust product to get vetted sellers only to the marketplaces. And that's Payoneer Green Channels. And currently, we are now working with 25 plus marketplaces here, helping them to gathering sellers to find opportunities here in China, and also to filter out and vetting and sourcing the qualified sellers with the different criteria of the market needs and to fill the needs and of different marketplaces here. So we are now working with them, and also these are the network of the global top sellers here working with here in China. So we had a big team here. We have a big sales team, we have a big CSM team, customer success team here who work with these sellers day by day. We talk to them daily, understand what business they're doing, what kind of a product they're selling, what needs they are, and what opportunities they find and what challenges they're facing. As a consultant, to giving them the advice and to helping them to grow with them together and to expand their business on different marketplaces and to selling the products all over the world. So a bit more about Green Channel program. So I've mentioned that we have a large needs here on the seller side as well as marketplace side. And also our Green Channel services is more customized with different marketplaces needs, knowing the product's gap and excuse needs from the marketplaces and the vertical they're looking for with different criteria and different sellers. Now we have over 700,000 vetted sellers with all their business document reviewed and knowing the business they're doing and what kind of products they're selling, knowing where their operation teams are, their warehouse are, to make sure and enable they have the capacity on the operation to doing on the new business, expanding business, and also have the ability to deliver their goods to over the world, and also knowing if they have the operation team to answer the customers' questions and to have the customer service to the customer. And we have also the tax product to make sure they're paying the tax properly, to have the knowing the sellers have their customized onboarding with the marketplaces. And also we had a whole team here doing the end-to-end support on customers onboarding, helping them collecting documents, go through the onboarding process. And also that's something we're building, and also that's something that with different marketplaces they have different onboarding process, and we are helping them to have helping the sellers having the fast onboarding as well as to go through smoothly and with the different process of different marketplaces. And after onboarded, we still have the customer success team here to help them not only onboard but also start selling and selling well, to have the sales success support here to make sure they knowing the policy of the marketplace quickly, easily understand how it works, and to have a fast growing after they onboard in a quick success. So this is the Green Channel program on the seller sourcing, vetting, onboarding, and customer success support. And on seller side, this is what we support on seller side. We're not only on the fast onboarding, we're also helping them on the operation support and giving the data analysis, professional sales data analysis, providing customers ad solution and get hot category and sales trends. And these are big data analysis we support to the seller and helping them to get success, to get more orders and to start their business quickly and easily on the marketplaces, and also the special benefits to marketplaces. So these are support we having to the sellers. Finally, but not the least, is that the event we did here in 2019. So we can see in the middle is the Green Channel launch ceremony. We invited marketplaces here to join the ceremony as well, to start initiate this program to build the connection between the sellers and the marketplaces. And we are having the offline events, the sellers VIP seller event, also the workshop, seller salon, booth camp, and other things here we did for both seller side and marketplace side to make sure that the green channel helps both on the seller side as well as on the market side. So this is generally about what is Payoneer Green Channel and how Green Channel are now helping to do the connection during the bridge. So it's a very quick introduction, and then we'll move to the panel section. Okay, so these are the questions that I would like to ask, and for getting your advice here. So we'll move to the panel section. Okay, so the first one, actually, I would like to ask Daryl first. So I know that you're been here for a long time and trying to get more sellers on Jumia. So what do you think? What are the opportunities do you see here in China market and with Chinese sellers recruitment here?
Hello everyone again. James Seal again. Thanks very much for the invitation today here. So I want to connect to what James has said at the beginning, right? So what is China and why this market for sellers is a great opportunity? And let's start with marketplace purposes, right? So marketplace is a connection between demand and offer, right? So what we do is what is our purpose is to give African customer the best products with a good price and good quality, right? So the supply chain that is in place in China and the advancement of this as of today is very high, probably the best all around the world. So I think that the Chinese sellers have a great opportunity to be connected with African market, which is very fast growing, and the future to develop sales and to bring Chinese goods to be known all around the world. So I believe that the China market for sourcing and for sellers is very big, and every year is bigger and bigger. We believe that this is because the infrastructure is very fast, is very developed. Internet has been working for internet industry has been very developed in mainland China, but also for cross-border for many years. The sellers have high-level knowledge of how to do business, also to the services that you're giving. So the sellers, when we talk to the sellers, thanks also to your brief introduction that you do before, they know already how to operate marketplaces. So it's not to start from scratch. And then this is definitely a great advantage.
Okay, thank you, Daryl. And also, Joy, what do you think about the opportunity you see here in China?
Well, hello everyone again. I'm Joy. I think that the opportunity that I see in the China market is that about the ecosystem in this market. And because like in the big picture that in this market that the ecosystem of the e-commerce is quite mature. Not just the infrastructure, but also the mindset of those sellers. Because I would say that is because of the penetration of the internet in this market has grown quite well. So I would say that because of the ecosystem and the sellers' mindset those are the opportunity that I see that in this market, and it will also help us a lot to recruit the sellers in this market. Yeah, that is about the big picture. And if we go to the more specific, I would say that because like the real or the James just mentioned that because there's a very abundant factory here that can produce almost everything in this market with a very sufficient to produce a good efficiently and with lower cost, which really help the Chinese seller to get advantage on this selling this product, not just in the domestic, but also go overseas. So that is about this produce the supply chain. And since that the seller already quite familiar with the e-commerce, so we don't really need to educate them how to go to the marketplace or to teach them to do the education about what is the e-commerce like. So I would say that it's quite different from the other market. And the third thing is like about the logistics, because in the past when we see that if we want to do the export business, that we need to even not just a large company, but also those SMB, they also need to come back to ask to find out what the right logistic partner, the shipping company, or to do the custom clearance. But in this market, I would say that everything is quite complete and quite ready to this to every seller, as long as they just need to focus on the seller just need to say, okay, I want to sell this product, and they can just do the sales and marketing. And for those back end, like a logistic, that there's a very strong partners in this market can help them. So they say that everyone can do their own job and make sure the business can run well and faster. So I would say that is the opportunity that I'm seeing.
Okay, thanks, Joy. And so let's move to the second questions here. So what are the difficulties here of Chinese sales recruitment at the beginning stage? I know it's a bit tough at the beginning, where it's a tough stage. You have met Sebastian, so would you mind share what's your opinion here?
Yeah, sure. So as we started, I think it was roughly 3 or like 1.5 years ago. I would say we mainly faced 3 challenges. So I think the first challenge was getting the word out. So people, especially Chinese merchants, need to know that we exist and that we accept Chinese merchants as our clients and partners, right? And with, let's say, a quite vast majority of or a lot of choices out there, I think sticking out and telling the story that we are the biggest marketplace, basically in Germany in terms of growth, and the third biggest in terms of sales volume was a challenge, right? Getting that out there. The second challenge that we had was, I think, for us, finding the right sellers, because German market is right particular in terms of standards, especially when it comes to VAT. Mm-hmm. So they're rather restrictive in terms of sellers that are allowed to sell. And the third part was actually, it was difficult to find the right decision makers. So even if we found a company, sometimes it was difficult to get to the person who decides where to join and which marketplace to join. And so we are really happy also to find a good partner with the Green Channel team there to support us.
Yeah, so it seems that it's as you say, this seems a lot of challenges here, and also you're saying like finding the decision maker is not the easiest thing, and also sellers are having with their limited resources, and they need to make the choice and to decide which marketplaces they're gonna to put more resource on and to put focus on. And I think that also came to the third question as well. Like, do you think it's difficult to find and get the sellers together, and how to scale up the business? And in this position, and how Payoneer Green Channel helps you?
So for us, it is a challenge to especially, as I said, finding the right one and then scaling it. So for us, it's important to find partners that are supporting us in that, as well as our own team that can actually execute. So that's also when we formed the decision to have our own Chinese team in Shenzhen, who are closely working together with UCL, I think, in finding the right businesses for us. So right now, where the Green Channel team is really supporting us is selecting the right merchants for us in terms of quality, in terms of certifications, and in terms of potential for both sides. So for us, finding a good seller, and for the seller to find the right fit in terms of marketplaces.
Okay. So thanks, Sebastian. And let's come to a question for like how to fill the product gaps among the thousands of SKUs of Chinese products with an easy and fast way. So Daryl, would you mind share your experience and opinion here?
Yeah. So first of all, I think that there is no such shortcuts, right? I mean, nothing is so easy, and we always need to think what is the best workable option that we have. Yes, at the beginning, probably what is the best strategy is to go to partner with big players, big established sellers that already have the knowledge of cross-border e-commerce, and they have already in inventory a very, very wide and broad assortment of different products. Right. So when you partner with these companies, they are providing you assortment in most of the main categories, and they have already big inventory, and this is probably we could call the quick win. But however, at this stage, still we will not be able to cover every niche and every single product that our customer are in need, right? So the next step there is for me to collaborate very, very closely with also you and the Green Channel program, and work together on selecting the sellers that are able to fill the gaps that our customer needs, right? So if we know that we have our customers that are looking for toys, we would collaborate. We would looking for sellers that are working directly with factories of toys, or they have their own brand of toys. Even though if it's not known overseas, it's for us this is not important at this stage. But we wanted to find sellers that are expert in that niche, in that category, in that subcategory, and we wanted to bring these products online and make sure that our customer are also able to see these products.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's totally makes sense. And of course, that we're more than happy here to help and support you to get more sellers and to find these proper sellers, qualified sellers with the skills that you're looking for, with the product that you're looking for. And I think it would be of course, the hot categories that are selling very good on your marketplaces, and it will also be a very huge opportunities to the sellers who are doing these verticals, who are selling these verticals.
Of course, I think that here it's really the ecosystem, right? And it's a really win-win partnership here, right? Because we have the sellers that have a product, they have a specialist for these products, and we have all the customer base that are looking for these products, and we are able to connect them. And I think this is wonderful, and it's really the main purpose of marketplaces, and this is what we do what we do.
Yes, and it's not only a win-win, but it's a triple win, right? Win from your side, your
Correct.
side. Okay, cool. So moving to next questions. Sebastian, do you worry about the fraud behavior, and how do you deal with these behaviors, and how Payoneer here helping you on the seller vetting? Would you share your experience here?
Yeah, sure. So fraud prevention is a big topic for us because for us, we are very much focused on the consumer side. However, also try to balance that with the seller side, right? So we want to get on the sellers that are actually having the same interest than us in mind, which is serving the customers in the best way. So right now we're checking and having a zero tolerance when the seller enters. And this means we are checking stores on other marketplaces. This means we are checking basically bank account histories, and determine if we see any fraudulent behavior in the past. And there also the Green Channel team does an enormous job in providing the right documents at a timely manner, so we can really check and see if the seller is capable of doing what I think is a win-win, as you said, for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
A good example for that was actually when I think in April, everybody was selling masks, and it was really a difficult time to navigate through in terms of fraud. And there, it really helped having the right partners who select the sellers and helped us navigate through that period.
Yeah, as you say, that the seller fraud behavior. But by the way, how do you guys deal if you find a seller's fraud behavior on the marketplaces?
So we have different levels. So the first level is make sure the seller is legit when he joins. So there we check company documents, we check payment histories, we also check history of basically accounts on other marketplaces. And then the second part of the fraud prevention is when the seller is joining our marketplace. And there we have basically two layers. So the one layer is a KI, which in the back end is checking a lot of different factors. For example, price discrepancies. So if, I don't know, somebody is selling the iPhone for 10 euros, that will be flagged from the system. Or if some other, let's say, really special occasions are happening, it got flagged. The second portion is done by a fraud prevention team who is checking on a manual basis for the first payouts, also for all those flags, if this is, let's say, a natural behavior of a good seller, or if that is fraudulent behavior.
Okay. Thanks for sharing, Sebastian. Joy, would you mind share your opinion? What's on Google side?
Well, from Google point of view, that actually that we really focus on this topic. I mean, the fraud seller, because we believe that if we tolerate this kind of behavior in this e-commerce ecosystem, which will ruin this business operation model in the world. So from our point of view, that we have implement a lot of review mechanism in our system. So, like for example, we have our own Google customer review system, which means that when the consumer they order from the Google or from the seller's website, then this consumer will receive a survey to get opinion, and then we will take this rating to verify that if this seller, what is the behavior or the reputation or even the business situation of this seller, and that is one thing. And the second thing is that we're not just taking this consumer review survey, but we will also take consideration of the other third party website to see that what is the review from the other from other seller, from other consumers who not just fill in our survey, but also provide their feedback on the website. In that sense, that we have both the first party and the third party data to have a cross checking to understand if this seller is really trustworthy or running the right business. So that is the thing that right now we're trying to do to verify and to avoid this kind of fraud behavior in this e-commerce system.
Came to the final question here. So would you guys mind share some successful case sharing on the Chinese sellers fast growing onboarding and growing on your marketplaces? And also, what's your opinion and what do you think are the key factors for these fast growings, the success of these sellers? So Daryl, would you mind be the first one?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Sil. So for Jumia Global this year, I have done a bit of changes that are really in this direction, right? So I really focused in 2020 to grow and find less sellers, but those sellers that we can work hand in hand, and we can really make their growth exponential. Right, so in 2020 we focus on selecting a bit less the quantity of sellers, but focus on the quality. What do I mean by quality? I mean, of course, the products that do not have any infringement. So going back also on your previous questions, so right, of course, also Jumia, we really care that products are genuine, and we do all of checks on this. So we make sure that the product's quality is up to the standard. And for this, we do it also in some cases, asking for samples of products in specific categories. And we also look at the seller resources and the seller willingness to collaborate with us, right? In turn, what Jumia gives is actually to dedicate people in the business development team, which I've created from the beginning of this year in my team, to really work hand in hand with these, let's say, rising star sellers, right? I can share an example of a few of our sellers. Like last year, we from the end of last year and throughout this year, we've focused a lot on growing categories in the shoes category, for example. So we have worked a lot with Fujian sellers, and we have sellers that have grown from their first, let's say, months and quarters up to 20 times from what they were last year, right? So in the span of 1 year, one seller can really become 20 times bigger. The key recipe is here. How we were able to do this is definitely like a very, very tight and hand-in-hand collaboration of my team, myself also, studying what products are actually really fit for the market, right? The African market is really requiring good quality for an affordable price. And really, we work on selecting first from the drop shipping SKUs, and then working together with the seller to sending these products in the overseas warehouse that actually Jumia has in 9 countries in Africa. So working really in tight collaboration, right product selection, right pricing, right quality. I think this is really the right recipe that made some of our sellers that they join really growing very fast.
Yeah, I totally agree on the point. Thanks, Dario. And what's your opinion, Sebastian? What do you think would be key factors?
Yeah. So for us, now we've seen about 1,000 sellers joining our platform, and we also try to wrap our head around what makes them successful and how we can enable the future sellers to be successful with us. So the one point that we internally provide the sellers with is a specified key account managing system, as well as key accounting team on the ground. So people go and really, with the seller, hand on hand, do the joining, do the product uploading, and really try to make them as successful as possible. Another key factor that we see there is, especially if you're starting off, try to upload as many products as you have, and then really very quickly you will see which one is working and which one is not. And then to leverage also the internal resources that we provide, for example, our sponsored product ads, where you can really bid on specific products. In general, I would say, talking about the German consumer, I think it's quite well known. They're rather picky, so high quality items is important, as well as, if you look at our average basket size, it's about 100 euros, so it's rather high. So that's where we say, okay, as a seller, we rather suggest focusing on high price point items, high quality items for the German sellers. In particular, I think there are basically 2 strategies which we've seen being super successful. So the one strategy is being an expert in your niche. So for example, we had a seller in the outdoor sports category. He is really very, very good at that certain category. He knows the products. He has the right products and the right price for the consumers. And with that knowledge, he could scale with us within the first 3 months of this year to 500,000 revenue per year. So that strategy is super successful. The second one that we see is having a very, very broad assortment with a good supply chain to replenish quite fast. So those are sellers which basically have a lower GMV per product, but in total, because they have such good supply chain and such good overall selection, they tend to have really good sales on the platform.
Yeah. And also, I think you will always be there and to help them, to support them, and also knowing the customer, knowing the target customer would always be another thing that the sellers have to do, and that would be the key to success as well.
Exactly, yeah. So happy to get in touch with everybody who has a question regarding German customers and how to be successful in the biggest European market.
I think for the different panelists, I actually have a question that is not on this presentation. And there's a lot of data points out on the internet regarding scale of Chinese sellers on various marketplaces. You're going to see stats out there regarding, for example, Amazon on various sites. You're going to see over 20%, 25% of their top sellers are now from China. eBay, you're going to see well above 25% of their top sellers on various sites, also from China. And Wish obviously has a huge population of sellers from China. So when you look at those type of scales, where do you see Chinese sellers place and their contribution 1 or 2 years down the line in terms of your marketplace top sellers or GMV contribution? And this question is posed to any panelists who would like to respond.
Sure. James, thanks for the question. I think I'll go first. So I think that the Chinese vendors to us are very important. We value them dramatically, and this percentage for Jumia has been growing steadily over the years. So approximately for Jumia, we are at 20%. Okay, so 20% of the overall business is generated from China. Of course, we are an African company. We have a majority of our employees that are based in Africa. We have African sellers, and we also have as a moral mission. We want to make sure that we create business opportunities for African people. Okay, so this is also very important to us. But of course, it's extremely strategic for us to work well with Chinese partners. And if I see how do I see this developing, for sure, I would hope that we would arrive around the 50% mark, and we would be able to cross the 50% mark in a 2 years' time maximum, right? Because I think that the capability of China and Chinese sellers to scale in very rapidly, and on the other side, the market to grow thanks to the more phones and more smartphones that are coming from China. Actually, we have very successful brands that are specifically designed for African market, and they are finally getting to the scale that will enable Jumia to grow, and especially the mobile and app part, which is very important, of course, for every platform. So I think that this is a really a great opportunity for all the Chinese vendors, and of course we welcome all any Chinese vendor that would be interested on partnering with us, and can reach out directly to me, to my team, to Payoneer Green Channel, and we would be more than happy to understand what are your strengths and how we can have really like a triple win collaboration between the three parties, and make sure that you can grow very well on Jumia, and you can bring great products to our customers in Africa.
Thank you, Dario.
Sebastian, do you want to share your opinion?
Sure. So I think for us, seeing the strengths of Chinese sellers, and also comparing that to basically our main competitors. You talked about eBay and Amazon, right? Where I think particularly in Germany, they are already at about 40 to 50% in terms of GMV share. For us, I think the goal, or I think the end game, will be around the same levels. But as previously mentioned, I think it should be within the lines of no fraud, high quality products, and good assortments, where we tend to basically scale with partners who are willing to really play it in the long term, who really wants to start business there. And I think the potential in China with sellers who are taking those steps, who want to be part of, I think, a European ecosystem, are increasing. So coming back to your question, we see ourselves also in the range of 40 to 50% probably in the next 2 to 3 years.
Thank you, Sebastian. And I'd like to really thank our panelists for contributing a rich amount of information today for all of our audience to digest. And from Payoneer's perspective, we know that as a marketplace, it is your core competency to connect sources of demand with sources of supply. And we're really, really pleased at Payoneer to know that, over the past year or so, we did, as a company, be able to provide some value, especially from China in the whole green channel proposition, to assisting with that endeavor. And as we evolve this green channel initiative going forward into the future, we anticipate a deeper and more connected partnership, as well as for those that in the audience that want further inquiry for the green channel, we're happy to assist you in any way possible. And thanks a lot, everybody.